It's a show. It's a podcast show. Welcome to the Julie Cross Podcast Show. Empowering, energising and entertaining.
I just wanted to have a quick chat about training. So Julie Cross here, and Julie Cross is passionate about service, and there are many of us that are, because we're always being served every day, and how frustrating it is when, to me, it's just not hard to give great service, but it still has to be taught, and that there seems to be a lack and a disconnect with sometimes owners and staff members of them realising that you need to teach these young people how to give great service, because sometimes it isn't just that they've got a bad attitude. Sometimes it might be, but it isn't always just because they've got a bad attitude or that they're negative. It's because nobody taught them, and we assumed that they would know how to handle something. We made an assumption that they would handle that situation, but we never actually gave them the words to use to handle that situation. And the analogy that I use is that, take the hairdressing industry, but it could be a mechanic, it could be, in a restaurant or what have you, that you wouldn't take, a first-year apprentice on their first day, starting their hairdressing career, and then when they walk in the front door on their first day, say to them, gee, I see you're positive, enthusiastic. That's fantastic. Exciting. Yes, it's going to be great. So you want to be a hairdresser, I heard. Fantastic. Here's some scissors. There's a guy. Go and see how you go. I mean, we would never do that. We would never say to a first-year apprentice mechanic, say, oh, there's somebody's car, just go and see how you go with it. We would understand logically that they would have to learn the craft of cutting hair. They would have to learn the craft of fixing an engine and servicing an engine. They would have to learn the craft of cooking, whatever it is. There would be a process of learning before we would send them out to practice on the customers. And yet that's exactly what we do when it comes to service. We say, there's some customers, go and answer the phone and see how you go. Or there's some customers walking into the restaurant, go and serve them and see how you go. But what will they say if the customer says, exactly what time do you open, or, oh, aren't you open yet? What would they say? No, we don't open until 11:30. Or would they say, oh, we open at 11:30 and we'd love to see you back. Do you want me to make a booking for you now? Yeah, no, it's not long to wait. It's a beautiful day. Go for a nice little stroll and pop back at 11:30 and we'd love to look after you. Do you see the difference? But nobody taught them to do that. So it's like that's got to be learnt and practiced. In a hairdressing salon, you send a young person up to the front to clean the shelves on their first day. But see, who walks in the front door there where she's cleaning the shelves? Clients, customers. And there's no sign on her back saying, look, it's my first day. If you talk to me, I'll die. So she's got to have learned how, at that point, to turn around, look at the customers when they walk in and say, good morning, welcome to the salon. I'll get one of our senior stylists to look after you. But we're saying it's common sense. You should know how to do that. No, it's less than that, because communication happens like this now. So if they could text the customer from the back room and go, hi, welcome to the salon, I'll see you in chair 5 in a moment. They can't. So this has got to be learnt. You've got to practice it. And I need to hear her say it so I know she can say it, because how dare I assume she can say it if I've never heard her say it? And you think, well, of course they can say it. It's not the fact they can't say it. It's the confidence to be able to do it and do it well. So you would have to practice that. How do you learn a haircut? You would have to practice it. And then one day you get to work on real live people. And, how do you learn how to, service a car? You've got to learn and practice it on engines before you work on real live people's engines. So, it's so logical, and yet we're missing it. We're missing it, that they need to be taught. So customer service, communication needs to be taught. It needs to be learnt. It needs to be practiced, and then it needs to be managed. We can't just hope they're going to get it. So that's things like role play. Yes, you'll have to role play, people. And I know the young ones, and nobody likes role playing. I know you say you're going to do some role play and they go, oh, no. Yeah, you see, I don't role play. Because you see, when I do it, I get really embarrassed, and then I start laughing and I be really silly. So thanks for asking, but I don't role play. No, you're going to have to role play, because that's how you learn how to give great service. That's how I learned to deliver special speeches. I would say in my mind and think about what I'm going to say, and then that's how you get good at it, and that's how you present it. So it's no different when you're on the stage of your work. They have to learn the lines. You've got to show, and I've done that show analogy before, but you've got to show whatever your business is, it's your show. You employed some people to come and take part in your show. And when you employ them, like any good show, you know, when Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, they have to learn the lines of the show so that when the curtain goes up and the audience walks in, they can get out and deliver the lines to the level of expectation that you have for your business, with the right enthusiasm and passion and tone of voice. And that is taught. It's not caught. It's taught. And that's what people like I do. That's what we do. We come in and help teach. So, you know, let us make sure that that is what we're doing, because that is what your business deserves, your customers deserve, and your team members deserve. And you certainly deserve that success. Thanks.
Would you like a little bit more sparkle? Then you're invited to download a free poster at juliecross.com.au.